So guys, today's session I'm going to discuss some routing concepts. So before the routing concept, we'll be creating some operator IDs regarding this manager access, how to give for any operator, and also for every developer ID, how to assign the report to person. That also I'm going to show it now. See, generally, when application is created, this operator ID we created is admin alpha. Okay, so this is the default ID, and for every operator, you'll have some information like name will be there, email ID, phone number. But email ID, dummy email ID will be created with the same ID. In the next scenarios, we'll be updating these also. We can assign phone number, and you'll be having access group automatically generated. See, access group as of now, developer access group will be generated by default. But internally, if you want to create any separate IDs for manager access or user portal access, so we can create from the same ID. We can use save as option and change the access and permissions we can change. And now today first I'm going to discuss what is report to, and if time is there, work group and work queue also we are going to work today. So first of all, I want to assign a report to ID for the present operator ID. Okay, and this is also some rule in Paga. So initially during application setup and all, so we completed this operator ID creation. The thing is, in your application, what are the information assigned to the operator? So where these information we can check, or where we can see this information means, again, see, basically under the operator form we can check. If you go to the operator, so what is the name given, what is the email ID, what is the phone, any phone number assigned, so all the parameters, what is the access group name. And if you go to the work tab, we can find out any work groups are defined, any report to person is specified. Okay, so if you want to change the password, we can go to the security tab, and we can update the password also from here. And apart from that, you'll be having something, actually all this information, it will be again we can also check it under clipboard page. Okay, in the clipboard you'll be having system pages. Under the system pages also we can access this information, because in the backend, what are the information we have here, so this information is assigned to some page called system pages in clipboard. So if you want to know that, so inside the system pages you'll be having one property called operator ID, and under that operator ID the reference class will be data admin operator ID. So there we can find all this information will be saved in the backend. So in the application, any operator information given, it will be stored under the system pages in clipboard, and under that you will be having a page property called operator ID, and further the reference class will be data admin operator ID. So these class in the coming scenarios, in many scenarios we'll be using when we apply these routing concepts, and some any information, operator information if want to fetch in application. So we'll be using this class in many cases in the coming scenarios. So if you open the clipboard now, open system pages in clipboard. So under this, you'll be having a property called operator ID, and for this you can see the reference class is data admin operator ID. So click on this. So all that information, like many properties are there, like what is the name of the operator ID. So the default name will be admin alpha, and what is the normal name given, like full name will be giving, right? That full name and all. So all that information will be assigned to this. And here some 3 to 4 important properties will be there. So every property not required mandatory, but I want to show you. So earlier I already discussed about py access group. So there is one property called, so access group. So access group will be assigned to this column. Py access group is one property, and this report to person if want to assign, py report to is the name of property. So that you can find here. As of now the value is blank, because at the operator level we didn't define any report to right now. So as of now it is showing value as blank. Once we assign any report to, that value will update here. And there is one property called py user identifier. So that particular property purpose is the current operator information will be assigned to this property. Current operator is admin@alpha. So current operator anytime when routings when we do, so that any to whom you are going to send the routing request or routing assignment, so that will assign that particular user ID value will assign to this property. So this in the next scenarios I'll be using, then you'll understand better. Okay. So like that some properties we must know, so that in the coming cases I will be implementing in many scenarios these all. So like that any operator information which is updated in the operator form, so automatically it will be available under system pages under clipboard, and under the system pages you'll have this property operator ID, and further the reference class operator reference class is nothing but data admin operator ID. And also just to go through these properties, py user identifier, py access group name will be by default your division name colon admin status. See like that there are some other access groups will be there, manager access group and user portal access group, that also I'll show it in the coming cases. And here now let's see how to create a new operator ready with manager access. See, I want to create a new operator ready with manager access. See what we can do means I'll show two different ways. One is directly from the current operator form only I'm going to use save as option. See how to open this window. So if you go to operator menu, you'll click on operator, this form will open. See directly from here use save as option, use save as. I'm giving name as see any name you can give, I'm giving as alpha m1. You can give any name in your application. Maybe in the document maybe name can be different, it will be there. Alpha manager 1 I have given here, but in my application I'm giving as alpha m1. And what you need to do means you can update the full name. And one thing we have to change is here we need to update the access group. I want to create this ID with manager access. See your division name colon managers is the name of access group, your division name colon managers. So we have to update the access group information. Now save this one. So what is the password applied for the previous ID? That is the previous password will be rules for the admin@alpha. Same password will apply for these also, because we're using save as option, right? So when you use save as option, only update the name and access group we can update. This is one way to create the operator IDs with any access, developer access or manager access or user portal access. Apart from this, there is another way. We can also create user IDs in a application from organization category. If you go to organization category, operator ID, from here also I'm creating a second ID. So from this operator form, how to create, let's see. I'm giving some name as alpha m2. See when you open from here, manually we have to give the name and access group common. And I'm selecting this access group option, alpha auto, that is your division name colon managers. Now actually when you're creating from organization category, see last time means I didn't update some things like in the work tab you'll be having something called routing options, like update the, we need to update organization division and unit details. See in the previous ID already those settings are there, that's why when you're using save as option again no need to update them. But you manually when you open from organization category, so manually I need to update the organization division and unit routing details. So if you want to do that, so click on this update. See my organization name is alpha, expand that, expand division, select unit and click on update. So this one we have to do it manually if you are creating from organization category. Another thing is password also we have to give it manually. So go to now security tab, we need to go. So because last time in save as option when use previous password only will apply for the ID, but when you are creating from organization category, so update the password manually. So I'm giving rules, so you have to click on update password, otherwise it will not take any. We have to manually give the password. So submit this and save the operator form. So I created two manager IDs. Okay, so alpha m1 and alpha m2, but the thing is only one ID I can assign. I'll be using the other ID in the next scenarios. See, but in the work tab, so now where we have to assign this report to, here in the admin@alpha, if you open, you'll be getting these reports too. See, maximum one reporting person only will be there. I'm using alpha m1. In the down arrow, you can select your one manager ID I'm going to assign for this operator. So I'm giving this is the reporting person for this operator ID. Okay. So save it. We cannot assign more than one. Okay, maximum only one ID will be there as a reporting person. So save this. So do this configuration. That the purpose why I did is in the next scenario, so which I'm going to implement some routing concept. So without this I cannot implement that. Okay, so that's why first of all, so create any one or two IDs, but in the report to any one ID you have to map. Okay. So do this first. So we created two manager IDs, and in the operator form I have given one ID. I have given in the report to person. So now we are going to understand this routing thing. See, in the routing, actually, directly two types are there. Indirectly, there is one shape is also available in order to implement the routing concepts. So today we'll be discussing about two types like work list and work queue. See, basically routing is nothing but assign the task or transfer task to some person. See, if you're working in a real-time application, any work you have to do, so work will be routed to you, and based on the work assigned or work routed to you, you need to work on the complete requirement. So like that. So in the real-time scenarios also, any web application they open, sometimes in the organization they are going to transfer the task to some person or assign the task to some person, or the task will be transferred to some particular higher person, higher official, like that. So there will be different cases in application development also when working on any designs. So we'll be doing these routings and all. Okay, so in these two categories are there, work list and work queue. Okay, work basket or work queue. See, work list means directly to specific person if you want to transfer the task, so it is called as work list or to operator. Okay, and to team if you want to transfer, so it is nothing but work basket or work queue. Some places you'll see the name as basket, some places you'll get the name as work queue, both are same. So in the, if you route it, if you transfer the task to your team, what happens means within the team multiple people will be working and any one will be working on the task. Work list means directly to specific person it will be transferred. Suppose you want to apply for some request like a leave request or some approval request, so directly will send to one person and he need to approve or he need to reject, he will approve or reject that particular thing. So like that, to directly we know to whom we are routing means, so directly we'll be using work list. So if you don't know to whom we will be assigning to a team means, within the team there will be multiple people, and within the team any one person only accepting or requesting the task or working on the task. So let's first of all I'll be working on work list type. And when you route these tasks and all through process flow, actually currently we are working on process flow. In process flow means through assignment level the task can be transferred, but in the coming classes I'll be discussing about a flow called screen flow. In screen flow means through flow level we are going to transfer the task. So here work item means in the process flow means a portion of work we can route, but in the next classes we'll be having something called complete transaction, complete flow. If you want to transfer, we'll be working on screen flows, then I'll discuss about the complete work how to transfer. But as of now in the process flow only we can transfer only a single task only we can transfer at a time. So let's see, and in this example what which I'm going to work, we're also going to understand some additional things. See, sometimes you may get a chance to design the UI in in data classes, you may get a chance to add the design. Suppose in any case if UI design is created in data classes, so how to call it in the work layer, and what are the additional steps we need to configure, we are going to understand in this requirement. Basically here requirement is add a new assignment. See, after the vehicle details I'm going to add one new assignment, and after the vehicle details are submitted, the task should be transferred to some manager, and if manager approve the task, so manager will verify details and manager will approve the task, and then only it will go to the next assignment, that is address is the next assignment, right? So here requirement is, so approve, that is send the request to the manager, and once he approve it will go to the address assignment. Okay, that is the requirement. See, to complete this requirement, first of all I'm going to create one data class. I'm going to define, so only data class I'm creating, not data type. So only for reusable properties I'm creating one data class. So click on add data type. Okay, it is created under division level. So click on submit. So under division data layer we are creating. So under this I'm going to add two columns or two fields. I'm using the type as a pick list and using drop down as a display type. Sorry, radar buttons I'm taking with the two values. And here you can click on OK. Now add one more field. This I'm taking as a paragraph, text paragraph, which is nothing but text area. Okay, see now I want to add a UI design in data class. See, they may ask you, we may get many chances in the real time. You may create sometimes UI design in data classes also. So for that, I'm showing one scenario now. See, in the App Explorer, open this April data class, which is created now. Manually open that particular class. See, under this, I want to create a UI design. See, already properties are there in this. So directly I'm going to open section. See, only section we can create in data class. See, flaction, always remember, wherever flow is there, there only we need to create the flaction. So only section I can create in data class. So add a section. See, this particular section I'm creating under approval data class. So if you create a section in data class, how to map it in the flaction we'll understand. So properties are in same class, right? You can drag and drop here directly, because these are single value properties. You can directly drag and drop. Okay, save the design. See, after creating section under data class, now go back to work layer. We need to go back to work layer. See, in the work layer, actually, I need one page property here. I'll tell the purpose why I'm creating this page property. See, create one page property referring to approval class. Add one page property referring to approval data class. Say approval data class is, so it's a single page. So add one page property. I'll tell you where to use this property. I'll tell you. See now add a flaction in this because flaction must be always there in the work layer because flow will be created. Flow is there in the work layer and flaction also must be there in the same class. So now let's see how to call the section which is there in data class. So how to call it in the work layer. Let's see. See, the thing is directly you cannot access the section. Earlier means section is also in the same work layer, but now section is not in the work layer. So in that case, the process we have to map is, see in the page context, you'll be getting this option directly. So always we used to directly select the section name which is in the same work layer. But now if I want to call the section which is in data class, we have to use a concept called use clipboard page. See, I curated a page property, right? So use that page property. The thing is, this page property we are selecting here, but the thing is, this page property is not added to the clipboard. See how to add a page or page properties to clipboard using activity property set method or using data transform set function we can use. Okay, actually here in this scenario, we need to define some additional business logic we have to define. Then only properties will be loaded in the when you map this UI design in flow rule, so properties will not load if you, even though if you directly map this, so properties will not load to the clipboard page because the page is not loaded into the clipboard. So for that some additional business logic I need to define. And meanwhile, first of all, choose the data class name, and now you can select the section. But even though if you select the section, what happens means the properties will not load into the UI page. The reason is this particular page is not there in the clipboard server. So the thing is, in the action tab, go to action tab after mapping this use clipboard page and mentioning the page and data class and section we have given. But if you go to action tab, we need to define some pre-processing either activity or data transform we need to create. The reason is we need to load the approval page to clipboard. So for that, the best way is use data transform. See, we have to create a pre-processing on load of page only. This page property should be available in the clipboard. So open pre-processing data transform. So click on open. See, this step and all must whenever we call any section from data class. So this step is must. So that's why mostly we don't create. But in any case, if you create any section in data class and if you want to map it in the work layer flow action, so this additional business logic we have to configure. So we have to select the page and at least one property from this page you can select. Any property you can choose and give the source as null. Only thing is page should be added to the clipboard. Okay, so for that purpose you can use this set function and you select the property, and under that you can choose any one property and set the source as null and save the data transform. Now go back to this flaction and save it. So the thing is, when you directly create section in same class means no need to do these additional steps. Here in this requirement, so section is there in data class and that's the reason we have to use this page context and change the means additionally add this business logic if any section is there in the data classes. Okay, so what are the steps if section is created in data classes? Using page context we can give the section name, and later we need to create a pre-processing data transform or activity to assign this page to the clipboard so that properties also will load in the UI page in the runtime. Okay, so this is additional step we have to configure if section is created in data class, that I want to say. Now the next step is open your insurance flow. So now under the insurance flow, this After the vehicle details, I'm going to add a new assignment. Second. Now join this connection to, actually you can also apply decision making here. If approve, go to address, if reject, go to end, like that. You can also add a decision making like here. You can, if you want to try, you can try. I'm directly connecting to address assignment. Now coming to routing, so open assignment properties. And here I want to apply this routing here. Okay, so in the assignment settings, you'll get this routing. So under the drop down, go with custom option. See, operator will be there, but that will not work properly. So go with custom. So you'll get the type as work list, and here activities will be there. Work list means to work list is the name of activity. To work list is the name of activity. So after selecting the to work list, this is a predefined API or predefined activity. And here we need to provide the operator details. See, here we are routing to, we are going to transfer the task to operator, that is who is the reporting person. There's those information we have to give. See, what is the report to ID given? See, to know what is the ID we have to provide here. See, in your operator form, what is the report to ID given? So you have to choose that one. See, the in my application, if you see, the report to ID is alpha m1, and I need to provide this in the routing ID here, operator ID here. In my system, it is alpha m1. So what you have created in your application, so accordingly provide that. So check it in your report too. So what is the ID there given? So you have to give the same in this. So submit and save the transaction. So what happens means, here after the vehicle details are submitted, directly it will not means it will be, the task will be transferred to the manager. It will be transferred. If manager approves, then it will go to the address assignment. Okay. So the thing is, what I'm going to do is run this transaction and see. Submit up to vehicle info. Submit this. See, it will not display the vehicle form. So the thing is, you can open a new session. So ID is alpha m1. And the password is rules is the password. See, to this operator, the task is transferred. So open this ID and see here where we can see that operator info or this work ID info means in the dashboard. If you scroll down, see, this is the approval task, right? So the task is transferred to this operator. So he can open from his operator and he can submit this one. Okay, so just either here I didn't apply any particular decision condition. Either select any option right now, it will go to address assignment. Okay, so like that we can just transfer the task to one operator to other operator. Okay, so like that, this work list is nothing but directly, actually in real time, to whom we have to transfer, what is the ID and all, you'll get the information. Accordingly we can apply the routing parameters. So if I want to transfer a task from one operator to other operator, so this is the process. So directly to, if you know the specific ID to whom we have to transfer, so then we have to use this work list. Okay, see, sometimes you will be calling some customer care team, and in the background, whenever we are doing this routing, See, it will be executing this API. To work list is the API it will be executing, and it will be having. You'll also have some table will be there. PR underscore. See, there is some work list table or work queue tables will be available. Any routings done. So PC underscore SN underscore work list is the name of the table. See, when any routing entry using work list is transferred, so during the processing, the item will be available in this table. Okay, no need to check, but in the background, so if they ask you to which table the work list items are, we can check it in the rule base means PC underscore SN underscore work list. So like that, if you check for the queues we'll be using in the next example, any queue table means PC underscore SN underscore work basket is the name of the table. Okay, so these APIs, and in the background this table also, to the table also entries will be added. But after the trans after the process is completed, again it will remove the entry from the table, because during the transfer, only to whom it is transferred only they can work on the task. For that purpose, so to whom it is assigned, only they can work on the task, no other person can access that particular task. If I transfer to manager, only manager can access the task and process that one. Okay, so that is like any task if want to transfer to directly to one person, so we'll be using this work list type we'll be using. Okay, now the next one is work queue. So what is work queue means? So basket or queue, some places you will see the name as basket and new name is work queue. But activity names and all in older versions it will be there with basket. So activity name is to work basket, and table name I told, right, any queue items if you are using, so the table name will be PC underscore SN underscore work basket. Okay, but to understand this work queue relation and all, see, today first of all we'll understand what is work group and work queue. See, basically, work group is nothing but a team. See, in your application, for example, you're in the development team. So there will be some different teams will be working on different modules. So you are assigned to some team, and some other developers in your team. There are some 10 developers are there, and in some other team there are some 5 developers are there. So any task transferred to the team one, so only within the team one who are available, only they can access that task. Anyone can work on that task. If any task is transferred to team two, so who are there? Some 5 developers are there, right? Within them, who is available? There will be any one person will be working on that particular task. So like that, a work group is nothing but a team. And what is work queue means? This is routing type. Okay, using this queue option, they can transfer the task to the teams. Okay, queue purpose is to so route the task to the teams. Okay, so here to which team you want to transfer, in the routing option we have to specify the queue name, and automatically within that team who are available, any one person will be working on the task. For example, general example I'll give. Suppose if you call some customer care due to some internet issue. Okay, so when you call the customer, so you will be assigned to some team, right? So actually directly it will not be connected to operator, they'll ask you to wait. So sometimes is if already all the operators are busy means, so you'll be getting like all the operators are busy, wait for some time. So once the representatives are free, your call will be connected. Like if you call any credit card issues, if you call any bank or anything also, you'll be getting waiting time will be compulsory there, because first of all your task will be sent to the queue, and through queue it will be sent to the team. And when any person is available, or when any person is open for taking the ticket, then the task will be transferred to that person. Any one person only will handle that particular ticket. Okay, like that, any issue when you're through any email also same way like this. If you through chat support or email support or phone support, any kind of things if required, so same kind of process will happen. Okay, so they will assign the task. If suppose HP support if want to contact, see, but again for HP support there are different things are there, server issues, laptop issues. Okay, HP any other product related issues if want. See, based on the type of product, you have to choose the IVR options, and accordingly, there are different teams related to different support types. For laptops and all, separate team is there. For server related, separate team will be there. So, what are the issue type it is? Accordingly, the task will be transferred to specific team, and from that team, one person will be assisting you and resolving the issue. So like that, any team level, if you want to transfer the task, so we have to go for this concept called work queue or work basket. Okay, but first of all, initially Pega contains one default work group and work queue will be there, but we don't use them. So we may create a new team name and one new work queue also we can generate. But in the real time, every developer will not do that. Some tech leads will be there, they are going to generate that. But in our application, we are going to define by ourselves. See, for this, let's see one image. I'll be creating one team I'll be creating, but if you want to try, you can create like a more than one team also you can create. In my application, I'll be creating. See, generally remember, always for one team, only one queue only will be assigned. Direct relation will be always one to one. See, for example, again, suppose work group is nothing but team name. This is team two. See, always for one team, only one queue only will be assigned. Again, for one queue also, only one team only will be there as a direct relation. One to one will be relation will be there. There will not be one to many will not be there. Remember, see, for same work group, I cannot connect to other queue. I cannot connect, or for this queue, I cannot connect to other work group. Always work group and work queue will be having one to one relation only will be there, and any task is transferred to this team by using the queue option. Within this team, three operators are there, right? Any one can access that particular task. And if any task is transferred to this team using this queue option, queue name is like work basket 2 is the queue name. And within these two operators are there, any one person can access the task which is assigned to this team. So like that in the real time. So first of all, they'll define any groups and all, that is teams and connections they're going to provide. See, in this application, I want to create see, already two manager IDs are there and I'm going to use them. And I want to create a connection like one work group and work queue I want to define. And for both the operators, first of all, these two relation I will define. And after that, for manager IDs alpha m1 alpha m2 are there, right? So for both those IDs, I'm going to assign these. See, directly for operators also define the team name. So because internally for the team already queue is connected, so again no need to specify the queue name for the operators. Directly will define the team, and internally again for the team already queue connection will be there. Okay, so how to define this complete relation, we'll understand. How to create a operator work group and work queue relation, now we are going to understand. Okay? Simple only. See, mostly we'll be using save as option, guys. Okay, see, for this already in my application, operators are already there. I'm going to use the previous IDs which are alpha m1 alpha m2 I'm using. Okay, and what I'm going to create newly are one work group and one work queue. See, but both these things you can create from organization category. Otherwise, already Pega contains one default work group and default work queue. The easy way I'm telling, so from the default work group and default work queue, you can use save as option, you can use and just update the name, that's it. Okay, so let's see how to do that. See, the default IDs, if you want to check, where you can check that information means, again go to operator from your admin alpha, and under the work tab you can find the default team name. See, team is nothing but a work group actually. Here in old versions actually the name will be there as work group, but in 8 version they changed the name to team. So team is nothing but work group only. So here but again in the rule level, if you want to see, in organization category the name will be work group only, guys. If you want to create the same from organization category, the name will be work group only. So work group or team both are same, guys. So this is the default one. Actually, we don't use a default one, but Pega, when application is generated, this default team name and default queue also will be created. Okay, where to see the queue? If you open this, inside this queue name will be there. If you open the default work group, inside that queue name is also same, default at the rate alpha, that is default at the rate your organization name. With that, automatically in the application, when application is generated, one default work group and one default work queue both will be generated. Now from those default IDs, I'm using save as option. That is the easy way, right? So what you can do, open that, use save as option, So just update the name. I'm giving as alpha wg for work group. I'm giving the name as alpha wg and click on open and save it. Okay, see in this default work queue is there, right? Open this one and use save as option. So for this I'm giving as alpha wq. Open and save. So what I created is one user defined work group and one user defined work queue is created. See now we need to define these two relation. I need to define, right? So work group and work queue relation I need to define, right? See inside the work group previously we have a default work queue name is there. Remove that and update the user defined work queue name. So open the work group which you define. See by default you'll have a default name will be there. Remove that and use this alpha wq which is created just now. Same way in work queue also we have to update the work group name. We have to update default name will be there. We have to update, so we updated the work queue name inside the work group. Same way in work queue also we need to remove the default work group name and add the user defined work group. Okay, update with a user defined work group. So this relation is completed. I created work group and work queue, and inside the work group work queue we have to mention, and inside the queue work group name we have to mention. Now we have to give the operator relation. See now if you want to open your operator IDs, see operator IDs and all you cannot open from app explorer. Okay, any operator IDs created if you want to open, go to records explorer, because organization rules you cannot open from app explorer. Go to records. See operator ID is the rule, right? Which come under organization category. Records expand this organization. Click on operator ID, and here you can see alpha m1 and alpha m2. Here you can see. Okay, so click on alpha m1 and both IDs open in a separate tab. So click on that. The IDs will open in a new tab. Like that, open alpha m2 also. See what you need to do means for alpha m1. See the default team name will be there. Replace with alpha wg. So the team name is default team name will be there. So replace with that alpha wg. Save it. Same way. See like that in the team how many operators you are going to add. You have to for all the operators you have to directly give the team name. If team name is given internally for the team, already basket or queue name is given. So separately basket option will be there but not mandatory to specify. See already work queue option also separately will be there, but no need to specify that, because when team name is given or work group name is given internally inside the work group, already the queue name will be already configured. So similarly open alpha m2 in the work tab, replace with alpha wg. So like that we can define the work group and work queue and operator relation we can define. Okay, now let's see one example how to implement this routing. Okay, for this again I'm going to create some properties guys, and those I'm creating single value properties this time. Open widget in the work layer, open property widget, some 2 to 3 fields I'm adding. So actually requirement is I want to create some loss design. I want to create, and actually like loss means like some claims design will be there. Okay, here some 2 to 3 fields I'm adding. Maybe in the real time you may get some more fields are required in the real time. So requirement is add a loss design. So where if before approval we are going to add this. Okay, so create a new assignment to capture the loss details of the vehicle and add single value properties this time. Okay, you can create any properties, maybe in the real time what properties to add, you'll get a requirement. So here I'm taking some 2 to 3 fields. Okay, just I've taken some fields in this. So these fields I'm going to add in a new design. So create a new section now. So open a new section. So add properties. All are single value, right? You can directly drag and drop. So expand these and add these fields. Okay, add a flaction. Okay, open your insurance flow and see this particular design we're going to map after vehicle and before the approval assignment. So log details we can include before the approval. Okay, so first of all give these flaction details. Now let's apply this routing. So open these assignment settings. See, coming to this routing here, I can directly use this work queue or I can go with custom option. See, directly if you specify the work queue, custom will be automatically updated. See, work queue name is alpha WQ, right? So to which team we are going to transfer. So give that queue name in the down arrow you'll be getting. So if you give the work queue information, automatically custom information will be updated. If you click on custom now, automatically you can see work queue to work basket, queue name, everything will be automatically generated. Okay, so if you first of all define the work queue, so custom will be automatically generated. Okay, so submit anything you can put and save the transaction. So you know what happens in the backend after the vehicle details, so it will be transferred, the task will be transferred. So what happens means here, after the task is transferred, see both these operators, see alpha m1, alpha m2 to both the same work item will be transferred. But the thing is, any one only will be working on the task. If one person requests the task, what happens means it will be assigned to PC underscore assign underscore work basket. It will be assigned so that other operator again cannot access that. Any one person is working on that, other person cannot access. After he complete the task, so it will be it will not be, means that same work queue item will not be showed for the other operator. Once the processing is completed, it will not show the work queue item for the other developer. So let's see, if I run the transaction, save and run this transaction. So click on submit. See, if you complete the vehicle form, it will again transfer the task. See, try to open a new session. See, I will open any one ID from that. See, alpha M1, alpha M2 are the two IDs, right? So to which the same work queue item will be, the same work item will be transferred to the both the IDs, because both have access to the queue. See, so queue items, if on to see here in the bottom, here you can see work queues will be there, and you can see the queue contains one item. Suppose if I check it in second ID also, they can see the same item, they can see, but who opens and process that one? So it will be first who complete the task, that particular person can process that one. Suppose if I open from this ID, and if I finish this task or submit the task, then the task will be completed by this operator. Why I'm getting this also means, because again approval is also transferred to alpha M1 only, right? So that's why I'm getting this also. Suppose if I log off now and try to, when I check it using alpha M2, if I log off and log in using alpha M2, the queue item will not be showing for him, because already the process is done and completed by operator one. Within the same team, one operator already finished the task. So now for this operator, it will not show. Initially means before completing, both can see the task, but anyone process the task or anyone complete the task, so for other person the task will not be available. So like that, any task transferred to the team, any one person will be working on that particular task. If it is a work list, means directly to specific person or specific operator it will be transferred. So work queue means, so within the team, who have access to that particular team, or how many operators are there in the team, any one person will be working on the task. And there is some other thing called retransfer. Suppose in any case, if the task is not completed or not finished by any operator, okay, that is not your role anyway, just informational. See, generally if you open Pega, also contains a default manager portal. So if you click on this launch menu, and if you go to case manager, this is the default manager portal. So okay, suppose if any task is pending under some operator, so he did not finish, he forgot to finish, or if he is unable to complete the task, or due to some reason he is on leave or something, means they can again retransfer. They will, managers will have access, or your team leads will have access to transfer the task from one person to other person, or from queue to other person, or operator to queue, or operator to reporting manager. Like that, they have some options to transfer the task. So for that, they need to go to operator bulk actions. This is manager portal ID. So if you go to this process, and here you can see all the, in my application all the work items are not completed right till then. So I'm selecting any one. Okay, so and click on these actions. So we have this transfer option, so click on transfer. So they will get options to transfer the task to any single, like work list means operator, to reporting manager, like report to work queue, work group manager also will be there, but don't worry, we don't use that much. So like that, again they can retransfer the task from one operator to other operator. If operator is not available, or operator is not able to complete the task, or is on leave or something, if any pending tasks are there again, so they can again retransfer the task to some other person or some other operator. Okay, So that all how to do that all you're not, that is not your role, and every developer will not get access to that. If anybody has access, and every your reporting manager or your team lead will have access to that. So accordingly, so they can also retransfer the task if any pending tasks are available for any operator or any developer. Any pending task, whether it is a list items or queue items are there, so they can also retransfer if the task is not completed or not finished. Okay. So like that, we can apply wherever for any UI pages or for any assignment. So routing requirement is there means, so based on that particular requirement, so we have to configure the operator IDs. Okay, so routing parameters we have to configure. And continue to this, there is something called service level agreement. So I will discuss in the next session. I'm going to discuss. And try to connect tomorrow at tomorrow attend at 6:30 guys. Okay, 6:30, same link only, so attend at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, so tomorrow attend at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, so that is for today.